So, welcome to the video. I always do the little head nod. I don't know why I do it. I think it gives a bit more emphasis. This is the third time that I'm filming this clip. The first and second time I've had a car come down, so I've found a much quieter spot now. Hopefully that helps, and I'm not going to be interrupted. So, I thought I'd do a living with the M2 video today. It's been about 6 months since I've had it. I bought it right at the beginning of lockdown. And I've had plenty of time to enjoy it, so I thought this would kind of be a good way to kind of give you my impressions of the M2, what I think of it, particularly compare it to the M140, because I'm obviously going to be making a lot of comparisons between the two. That's, you know, my first proper car, not considering my Hyundai i20 I had before that. That was my first proper car, and so my first proper performance car, so I'm going to kind of compare the two naturally. But I thought I'd just kind of do an update, do a feature video on my M2. I haven't, you know, had it on the channel for quite a long time. I've been doing other people's M2s, a lot of M cars, a lot of feature videos. I thought we'd just give it a little bit of love. So it looks very shiny right now because obviously it's being ceramic coated. When it rains, all the rain just kind of runs off, but it's absolutely filthy. Look at the sides. I don't even know if it's coming across on camera. It's absolutely filthy. In all the Instagram photos, if you're not following me on Instagram, link down below, up here, whatever. I always just snap a load of photos of the car and it's filthy and no one can tell because the ceramic coating is doing such a good job, and I'm kind of just hiding all the dirt from everybody. Right, first thing about the mods. Let's talk about mods. If you didn't already know, if you're new to the channel, welcome. The M2 competition has the ugly muffler that hangs like that. It's like a cow's udder. It's so ugly. It's a complete eyesore. So what I'm going to consider doing for very, very cheap. No! Right, we're going to keep it rolling. I don't care. Keep it rolling. Right, I'm back. I don't care at this point. I'm just going to keep rolling with the video. I've moved the car. Look, we're facing the other way. Magic. Right, back to what I was saying. For cheap, I'm just going to spray the ugly muffler back box black. When you're driving behind it, you won't really see it much anymore. And then I'm going to buy some M Performance tips that go on here. People think that you can't change the tips, they're kind of fixed, but I have done some research, you can, so I'll just be removing that, putting the nicer M Performance tips on, and it will set the car off quite nicely till I'm able to modify the car. If you haven't seen on Instagram, I've already plugged it actually. My insurance won't let me mod my car because I haven't been a driver for 5 years. I passed my test in 2016, so I haven't been driving long enough to modify my car. So I've got to wait till April and then that can happen. By then, hopefully I've got enough money stored in my bank. I'll get a Remus back box, so just the muffler removed, just that removed, get a Remus on there. If you haven't seen the video with M2 Dan, I'll put a little thingy up there. It makes the car a lot deeper. It makes it loud, but not louder. Or no, it makes it louder, but not loud. That's better. And it will just completely change the car. So that's, you know, first thing that I want to do or want to spend money on. Next thing, this is a common issue on M2s. I don't know if it's just a 2 Series thing or if it's just shut up. Here we go. I don't know if it's an M2, I don't know if it's a 2 Series thing or if it's an M2 only, but essentially, if the camera picks it up, that the door sill rubs against the paintwork. This is rough to touch, and if left untreated, it will just destroy the paint and will be cutting away into the metal. Not really cutting away, but you know what I mean. But I think basically dirt gets inside the door sill here and rubs against it. So there's a guy on Facebook called Alex, I'll link him down below. He's up in Scotland. He's been creating PPF for the door sills that I can stick on, 20 quid each side. So I've bought those off him. I'm just going to put PPF on here and just kind of protect the car. I might polish it a little bit, but I should be okay. I'm all out of breath. I should be okay. Put some PPF and protecting the car. Let's look at the engine. I love showing people this. This is my favourite part about the car. It just kind of sets it off nicely. Look at it. I love the carbon strut brace that goes across the front. Typically when you kind of open an engine bay, it's just, yeah, cool, load of metal. But I don't know, it just looks really nice for a car. It is a beautiful, beautiful engine. Twin turbo. It's a big old beast as well. It's really hot as well. I was hooning on the way here. Oh, gently does it. Hello, sheep. See these? And it's not real carbon fibre. It's probably just plastic. Come on, focus. Anyway, you get the point. I got these from Automotive Passion. I'll link them down below. But these are mud guards that you just kind of install. You can see it's protected a lot of the crap that's kicking up from the wheel. Because the M2 sits so wide, that when you're driving, it just basically kicks up a load of crap and it hits the back rear quarter of the car. And so that's why from factory, I don't know if you can see it, but come on, you see that? There's like a sticker that goes across the whole car, and that just basically, as you can see, even then the mud guard is just trying its best, and even then it still gets a load of crap stuck and smashed to the car because it's so wide at the back. But you know, it's better than nothing. If you had spacers, probably have to get some more aggressive mud guards. And that's about it really. I think the car from factory is an absolutely awesome package. It handles great, it sounds great. I mean, I'll be honest, even without the exhaust, it sounds amazing. It's just a small little touch that I'd like to do. Let's give you a sound check, come on. So this is with the car warm, Sport Plus, I'll turn it on. It gives a nice little pop. Sounds good, right? It's purring away. I'll come a little bit further back. It's purring away. I've got to let the cold start finish its thing. It always does a cold start, whether it's warm, whether I've been hooning it for a while, turn it off and immediately turn it back on. It still does that, and it won't let me rev past 3,000. So we'll wait for that to finish. It takes about a minute or so. And I'll give you a couple revs. And you'll see that from factory, the car actually sounds great. It's very loud. It doesn't have the tone, and I mainly just want to get rid of that back box. I think it looks horrible. The ultimate goal would be Remus back box, AA mid pipe. That would obviously delete OPF and Remus, so then you're kind of messing with MOTs and things like that, and I don't really know if I want to go down that route, but there's a video on YouTube that sounds absolutely awesome. So maybe when the car's out of warranty or whatever, I might go down that route, but Remus. Anyway, we'll wait for that to finish. I'll give you some revs. And another thing worth mentioning, if you have an M2, rev it to 7,000. I call it the 7K revs. It's when you have gunshot bangs. I'll show you what I mean. So just 5K revs, you get some burbles. Here's the 7K revs. Impressive, right? Let's get out of here before someone tells me off. Right, let's talk about money. Everyone loves to talk about money. What's it like owning this car? So I've had one servicing already on the car. Let's make sure this is efficient so it's not as loud. Yeah, I've had one servicing on the car already. That was just an oil change. The filter's done. The filter in the aircon is going to filter out all the pollen and stuff. That was £250. Now, I'd like to think, I never had the same done on my M140, so I'd like to think it's kind of similar across all BMW cars. That's kind of just the standard price. But it has a major service every couple thousand miles. So my next major service is at 15,000 miles. I'm now at 11,000, so I've got not long to go till my major service. And that's 1,000, that's £1,000. That's going to be oil changes as well. I think there's going to be spark plugs. There's quite a lot of checks. I'll put a screenshot or something if I can find. But that's a lot of money. So owning this car, big major service, is going to be £1,000. Tax. So obviously because it's a new car and it's within the 4-year period or whatever, how the government do it. It is £450–470 every year, so that's in April for me. Very expensive compared to my Hyundai I used to have, which was £30 for the year. Insurance. So I touched on insurance before. I'm going to be paying about £800 this year. I pay it annually because I'd rather pay the money all at once and not have to pay the little bit of interest that they add on if you were to pay it monthly. So £800. I am 25 years old now, so I believe it comes down a little bit when you hit 25. It used to be 1,200 for my M140, and the year before that it was 1,200 as well. So 800 is not too bad for a high performance car that pushes 410 bhp, 0 to 60 in 4.2 seconds. And finally, warranty. So obviously I've got the manufacturer's warranty on this car. It's 3 years from BMW, and that runs out in October next year, 2021. Now I have the option to extend that warranty. It's probably great if you've got a Porsche, if you've got supercars, you want to make sure that your cars have that warranty. A, because if something were to break on that car, it's going to be a very, very hefty bill that I'm sure a lot of owners probably don't want to spend. And then also, if you're going to, for a lot of supercar owners, when they tend to kind of keep supercars for around about a year, and they sell them on. So you can't really sell a supercar without a warranty. A lot of people won't be buying that. So supercar owners will tend to keep warranties on their car. And as I touched on in my McLaren video recently, the McLaren 570S is a £3,000 a year to extend the warranty on that. That's a hefty amount. But with the M2 competition, it is £1,000. It's £1,000 a year. You can pay that monthly, a £250 excess. But for me, and since a lot of M cars, they don't really tend to have warranty extended on them anyway, this car has been absolutely flawless for me. I haven't had any problems with it whatsoever. I'm not going to be extending the warranty. In fact, I might even keep this long term. I think it's a perfect car. I can put the seats back down, I can put the seats down, I can go to IKEA. I've even put a desk in here, a mattress. If I had a Cayman or a Cayman GT4 or anything along the lines of that, where it's a 2-seater, I wouldn't have that option. So I'm not going to be extending the warranty. The main problem, or the main thing, the main issue, one of the only issues I've had on this car is the rear light failure. That is another common issue on the 2 Series. I took that in. I've taken that into Cotswold BMW twice now. They've been absolutely fantastic. They've swapped out the unit, and I've had no more issues since then. If I were to have another issue and it was out of warranty, I believe it's £1,000 to get the unit replaced. Now for me, to spend £1,000 on a warranty every year, and maybe the rear light were to fail one particular year, I'm happy to pay that. In fact, the rear light failure is a notification on the dashboard. The light actually still works perfectly fine. You can still indicate, you can still have the brake lights still come on. So it's actually kind of livable. You turn the car on and off again, the notification goes away. For me, the car's flawless. I won't be extending the warranty. Touch on living with this car. As I mentioned, it's very, very usable. I can even, when I eventually have kids, and if I keep this car, I can fit an adult in the back, so I can have a baby seat. I'm only 25, so I'm not going to be having a child in a way in the future, but it's a very, very usable car. Comparing this with the M140, after driving this car and before my M140 went away, I took it out for one last spin, and it felt like I was driving on a cloud. It felt so disconnected with the road. Speed is about the same. This seems to feel very, very angry when it's pulling. It's a very angry car, it's very aggressive. So speed is about the same. It hits 0 to 60 obviously a little bit quicker. but it's the handling. The M140 felt so disconnected. I felt so far away from the ground that when I went back and drove it, I felt very, very scared pushing the car. This, with the wider wheels at the back, it just grips so much more. Having said that, now that I've been in the McLaren 570S, Tab has taken me out in it quite a few times. Coming back into this, I feel like I sit too high. I've been spoiled. Tab went round a roundabout and he was going pretty quickly, and the car just stuck to the road. It was like it was on rails, and he just kind of fired off from the roundabout. And for me, if I were doing that in my M2, I'm always right on the edge where the back end could come out. Now, being a performance car, if I wanted a great track car, then I would move towards a Cayman or a Porsche or something like that. But equally at the same time, it provides loads of fun for the M2 Comp. Sometimes in the rain, I love it. I put MDM on, I kick the back end out a little bit, and it's a great amount of fun. It has a diff, a limited slip diff, which the M140 didn't have, and that was very, very unpredictable when the back end came out. It would snap me back the other way whenever it felt like it, and so I was always kind of half-assed going into a drift or kicking the back end out, because I never really knew what was going to happen. With this M2 competition, I can kick the back end out, and I've got full confidence in how the car is going to respond. I'm able to hold the car in a great controlled manner. I can bring it back in. It's just amazing. This car gives me a lot of control. It makes me feel very, very confident driving the car, which the M140 just didn't do. Obviously, there's aspects of the 140 I miss. The hatchback was amazing. The understatedness, and that's probably because of the color. It was black. I could park it in dodgy areas, and I would know that not many people would really bat an eye. With this, I parked it in certain areas, and people are looking, probably because of the color, the aggression that it has at the front. But this car has so much character. I've driven an A35, and I'm going to be honest, in my own opinion, it was a little soulless. It wasn't great fun. It sounded good around town, but with 300 brake, when you kind of pushed it, it wasn't angry. It didn't pull as hard on the motorway. For me, it was a bit soulless. This has tons of character, and I absolutely love it. I just want to get that remix done. So this is the overview. I don't know how long this video is going to be, but I hope this kind of gave you a good insight of what owning this car has been for me over the last 6 months. If you're looking to buy one, values of the OG M2 are phenomenal right now. I would highly recommend buying one. They sound great as well. If I could go back, knowing the amount of money that I would save getting an OG, you know what? I'd probably consider it. Even a pre-LCI, because you can just buy the rear tail lights, upgrade them yourself. You've got no OPF, so they sound great. You could update the iDrive yourself. I would save that money and get an OG M2. That's me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Like it, subscribe it, the usual. And I'll see you in the next one, where I'm going to be at Caffeine and Machine with Steph ABTV. And we're going to be doing a Remus versus stock sound video, so look out for that. But yeah, I'll see you later.